Lexi Miracle. Black autorik mushikaik like Zoremoxt. Black orek zutakai moraku. Black omek sitakai more clearak su motakimberry cle arak. Black autorik muchitakin carex tumilarek su. This video is for individuals who are tapping into the divine powers. This is our time, family. I hope you've been patient. I hope you've been working on self. I hope you've been putting your ego down gracefully. Because if you have been receiving the ancient powers of our ancestors, which are also us. Seklet Araku. We're going to get into a number of subjects today to begin to help you discover your cosmic blueprint. How to tap into your primordial power, how to even figure out if you're primordial, if you're aboriginal, if you're a god. It doesn't matter. Everybody's tapping into what it is they deserve at this time. Love what it is you are. Love what it is you're experiencing in this reality. Because all of us had to go through something to get here. Every last one of us. All of us. Miklet Arak. Blik otorek mu fili interek bu eraku motakiberi kle arags subterek mu klimaxt. Many of you, all of you that have tapped into your power should have transformed by now in one way or another. The previous version of yourself should look unrecognizable by the current version of yourself right now. Whoever it is you have become is who you truly are, and whoever it is you were was part of the game you were playing. That part of yourself has to be put down. Now, put this down gracefully, because many of us are fighting our egos and causing resistance from our ascensions. But I'm here to tell you, you can put your ego down gracefully, one day at a time. You have all the time in the world. You live forever. You understand that? You live forever. This is a game that we are playing. Learn every level of the game. I'm going to tell you something right now. To the malevolent ones who really tested this, steel sharpens steel. They had to be good on their side to get you to where you are right now. They had to be as good as they are. Because as you get to new levels in the game, you realize everything that you learn, I mean, everything, even things you thought were the truth, were a lie. Diet is a lie. It is a lie. You eat based off of how you feel. You can transmute all things for higher levels, but the point is, many of you got to prove it to yourself. Many of your beliefs that you thought about food and health and diet are out the window when you really tap into your God powers. None of this stuff affects you when you vibrate and your frequency is high enough. It doesn't touch you, but you got to get to that point. At times you do got to fast. At times you do got to eat. At times you do got to gorge. At times you do got to just drink water and drink urine, whatever it is. I'm telling you, these powers that we're getting are unlimited, and nothing can touch us from this reality that we were taught could touch us. It only could touch us because we were in the dimension where it could touch us. Once we jump out of dimension, by doing the set of tests that we placed upon ourselves, we're able to transmute and alchemize the next dimension, and the next dimension, and the next dimension, and we'll continue to just jump higher and higher and higher until many of you feel pulsations in your body. Like, what is this constant vibration in my body? I want you ever been to like a power plant, and in that power plant you heard humming like you ever been by a power plant, or basically you ever been by a strong power source and you hear the humming? Well, many of you are hearing or feeling that humming inside of your vehicles right now. Huh? Many of you have been feeling pressure in your heads, and you're fasting when you're not supposed to be. Many of you are not listening to the things your body's telling you to do. Do you realize that your body understands its own prescription and what it needs at this time? What it can transmute at this time? But you're not listening to it. So you're making this ascension very uncomfortable because you're being too rigid. I know I was. I have to learn how to truly listen to the body, the self, the superpowered vessel that is not like everybody else's, because the soul, once the soul enters into the body, it becomes basically what it was meant to be. But if it doesn't have a soul, it's at base form. Blik otorik mu shikaik lai rapoa marag su. Blik otorik mu ail arago oskilowe maret. Dilawe plikaik mu shikoremos. Blik otorik miskaik le arag jotakumo mist. Bleak sky fik rockloe marag zit. Listen, yo. Let me tell y'all something. This pulsating, this humming is your electricity truly coming online in your body. And for some of y'all, it's intimidating. I know it is. So, certain things we're going to have to develop right now. Okay, if you haven't developed it yet, you're going to have to begin to ask yourself, and I'm going to give you some of the answers, but you're going to begin to ask yourself, what is it I used to do when I had powers? Because many of us are still doing the things we used to do when we don't have powers. But I want you to ask yourself a question. What do gods do for fun? Now, of course, you can't do all those things yet, but the purpose is doing the things that get you there, correct? So you can begin to bring forth the reality where you have those superpowers. So you have to begin to ask yourself, what is it you as a god being does for fun? Because I darn sure it ain't going Dave and Buster's. It ain't going to Six Flags Great Adventures. That is not what gods do. That is not what fun is. Now, if you still want to be in the human experience and be like a base form human, by all means do those things. Those are part of your experience. But if you're looking to go higher, you must begin to ask yourself, what is fun for a god? What is food for a god? Now, everything is food for a god, because a god understands that everything is energy. And if a god controls its atmosphere, its environment, it can make a branch be something that's satiating, honestly. But that's neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. What do gods do when they have all that energy flowing through their bodies to basically control it? Like, it's like a thermometer that's going on in energy in your body, right? How do you keep that thermometer at base level, make it fluctuate or make it drop? The breath. The breath. The breath is how the god controls the energy. Have you been breathing? I save breath work into the end. I have mastered so many things in this reality. I save certain things to the end. And many of y'all have not gotten into some ancient art because you're just saving it to the end. Many of you put diet first. You put breath work last. Many of you put breath work first and put diet last. Whatever way you design the game is whatever way you design the game. You have to figure out what it is you design the game for you. Because everybody has their own cosmic blueprint. But if you're having these things happen in your body, you could have an anxiety attack if you do not control your breath. It happened to me. I was like, yo, what's going on? I never had an anxiety attack, but all the energy that I actually have coming through my body, it was actually foreign to me and I was not used to it yet. And I hadn't been practicing my breath work as consistently as I wanted to. So this one night I'm having these activations and I consumed something that grounded me too heavy because I'm doing a lot of calibration. So I'm learning what my body wants and what it doesn't want. Not what the matrix told me it was good for it or not good for it. I listened to my body's internal system. So I consumed something, and sometimes when you're even wrong, it gets you to right because you begin to access why this particular food had this response on your body, and you begin to get the answers. So when you are at a high enough level of ascension, even when you're wrong, you're right if you can enter into the classroom of your experience. You're always right. You're always learning at all times, 24/7, about what it is you're choosing and what's happening as a result of that choice, to be able to either make better choices or listen to yourself more. Because yes, you are in control of your reality, but you must have to be in control of your internal systems first, which actually make your reality as above so below, as within so without. But what you think within controls outside of you. Am I wrong or am I right? I know I'm right. So the breath work is basically what it is you need to develop when you have energy fluctuating through your body, developing and harnessing your microcosmic orbit. I'm going to teach you some of these things today. All right, things that I've been doing every single day ever since I was put on the breath work by myself to really go and to realize what I've already mastered. Because the things that we're learning again are things we already mastered. It's a matter of doing it at the right time, not when somebody online makes it popular. It's when you feel called to do it, because that's when you're going to go in all day long. When you listen to yourself, even if things I'm telling you in my experience do not resonate with you, do not do them. Okay? Do what it is that you're supposed to be doing for yourself, because you're like, if my experience was like yours identically, would it be unique? The answer is no. It would not be unique. But if I could show you my unique experience and help you tap into your unique experience, is that unique? Yes. Because my uniqueness is helping you tap into your uniqueness, and you're going to help somebody tap into their uniqueness by being unique inside of yourself. Realizing that you've always been your own guide for this whole entire time. So the breath work, when you got that energy moving through your body, is powerful. Now, the first breath work that I began to practice was called box breathing, 4-4-4. Sometimes you can do 8-8-8. Now, the higher level, and I'm going to tell you what 4-4-4 obviously means, is 4 in through your nose, 4 hold, 4 out, 4 hold, and then 4 in again, and go in circles. Now, once you begin to even become an intuitive breather, you will breathe based off of how it feels. So you'll go from 4-4s to 8-8s to 4-6-8 to 6-12, 7-5. You'll do whatever you feel like you got to do, because you realize that your experience is chaotic and random, as if all nature in the cosmos is. If you look at the stars in the sky, are they in a line? Some of them are when the ships are up there, but you know what I mean. For the most part, they're just like nature. They're all over the place. They're just like nature, all over the place. Do you see anything that is in a line? I don't think so. I don't think so. I see chaos. Now, chaos, family, is our order. Their order, okay, is our chaos. Okay? Because when you're not doing the things that make you happy, then you're dealing with somebody else's order, which makes it chaotic within you. So you have to find where your order lies. Now, another thing that ask myself, I'm like, okay, what do guys like to do? Because I realized in my experience, I would buy things that were spiritual tools, but I wouldn't use them until a certain time, not realizing that my higher self was doing something behind the scenes, making me buy things that I would use for later if I just listened. Because sometimes I would buy things and I wouldn't use them for years. Like, I'll give you one. Tuning forks, right? Tuning forks, I just really started to use. I hadn't used tuning forks basically my whole experience until about 2 weeks ago. Okay? All of a sudden, my higher self said, yo, time to pull them tuning forks out and start to get to work. I said, about time. Because I had those for a minute and they cost me a little bit. So, tuning forks you are your vehicle, correct? Now, many of you, all of you, have had your vehicles tuned up. Cars tuned up, change the spark plugs, right? Sometimes the wires. How do you tune a God vehicle up? Sound vibration, sound frequencies. Sound frequencies that touch on certain chakras, certain energy points. Right? Right, right. So when you combine breath work, right, with tuning forks, you get a whole nother kind of experience. It takes you in. It allows your body to receive the information that's going on around you, because in order to receive all the data that you have going on around you, you have to be able to be the receiver for it. You have to be able to pull it in out here, pull it in out in here. Same thing. So how do you calibrate those systems for receiving on both sides? You breathe and you tune. Now, another things that you could do is, and I want you to look these things up. You can use your chat GPT. If you learn how to ask your AI questions, your ancestral intelligence questions, you'll be able to pull on the stream of knowledge to be able to get the right answer to guide you. Because ancestral intelligence is not artificial when you are an ancestral being utilizing it, pulling back your data, because all the information that is from AI came originally from us. I just want you to understand that. If you're not tapping into all of your power and pulling all of your energy back, then this is why you're missing some. This is why you're not ascending. This is why you're not tapping into your powers. Now, now, I want you to look up microcosmic orbit, because this is how you're going to be able to keep your energy in, circulating it in a circle through your body as these things begin to happen to you, because we're going to get into that sun soon, and we're going to get into how it's been feeling soon, right? Now, there is a particular muscle. I talked about this in about 2017 on this channel when I was into the sexual programs. There is a thing called your PC muscle, right? It's called your pubococcygeus muscle. It's the muscle that basically controls whether you, like, when you go to the bathroom. It's that muscle right there, not the anus muscle. It's the muscle in between the scrotum and the anus. It's right there. It's called the pubococcygeus muscle. This muscle closes and keeps energy in and allows it to circulate through your body. When you're doing semen retention or you're doing holdbacks, I wouldn't say ejaculation at this time, but if you feel called doing ejaculation, do what you got to do. I want you to look up these terms, because I'm not going to get into deeply what they are. I'm just going to give you something to look up for your own journey. I've explained a lot of things on this channel. I'm not going to get into it deeper. You need to get into it deeper. I'm telling you how to control your energy that you have coming to you. Because some of you, as I'm reading the collective, are not understanding what's going on with them, and they're panicking. Sometimes you can panic. So you got to get your breath work together. Your microcosmic orbit. Now, this PC muscle, right, is going to close not just physical energy in, it's going to close energetic energy in. Holds, when you squeeze it and you hold it, you begin to hold it for 10 seconds at a time and then let go. After a while, beginning to hold on to your sexual energy and utilizing your breath work, pulling it all back in very, very strongly, and squeezing your core, pulling it in, you'll be able to begin to feel cool energy moving up your back. You're going to start to feel it moving up your back. This energy is going to go up and around into your crown. And then you can breathe and circulate it back down to the front. And you can put this energy in an orbit in your body, moving around, redirecting this energy to other parts of your body, to exercise, blood flow, whatever you, to creativity, to writing, to movement, to whatever it is you feel called to do, my family. But this energy is going to help you control the energy that the sun in nature, in everything, in ourselves, is giving us right now. Now, some people thought this was a game. And for a while, we didn't know it was a game, but it is a game. It is a God game. And gods are moving as such right now, and gods remember who they are right now. Now, for many beings who are feeling pressure in their head and finding that even if you are, even if you are correct, right? Even if you are correct of being outside and your body's detoxed, but you find that you're still getting pressure in your head, you're still struggling to sit under it, it's because you do not have enough minerals to be able to process the sun, process nature, especially if you're beginning to do it in water. When you sit under the sun and you find some water, it's a whole nother experience. I know a lot of y'all have feel called to go to water. You are getting into a portal while another portal, which is the sun, is influencing your being. So you must begin to add trace minerals to your water. Drink out of copper, but don't add the trace minerals to the copper because it'd be stripping the copper. It's too strong. You want to have it like in a metal container when you do trace minerals. Chlorophyll. Now, because you are a god and you are not in a human body, and your human body is beginning to ascend, the things that they told the humans to consume for these dosage sizes, you're going to have to go up. You're going to have to go higher. Shilajit's another one. Yes. You're going to have to go higher, family, because you're going to have to load your body with minerals because it's how you receive data. Minerals are communication for the body. We're missing a lot of minerals. This is why our bodies haven't been communicating. But now we're in a dimension where our bodies are calling for more minerals, which is why your body's going through so many different waves, because you're not listening to what, if it's telling you to eat a pretzel, that means it's asking you for the salt that was on the pretzel. And the only way it knows that basically you can go there is if you're still eating sweets and snacks, the salt's on the pretzel that it's trying to pull from because it needs trace minerals. So when you're craving pretzels, consume Celtic sea salt in your water, trace mineral drops, chlorophyll, seaweed, sea moss. We are from the water. We are water. I'm a water being. I'm a water and I'm an air being, but I need that water. We could breathe underwater. A lot of y'all practicing this breath work. A good breathwork technique is to be able to breathe in deeply like 30 times and hold. While you're holding it, you imagine the ball of energy is opening up as you're breathing. Imagine you're breathing the negative ions from the atmosphere into your body, powering you up. You're going to physically feel this. When you eat any food, hold it. Breathe on it. You have to begin to use your imagination. What do gods do for fun? They use their imagination because they realize their imagination creates their reality. But if you're not there yet using your imagination, I can understand why you're still doing human things. Now, to transition out of the human experience, you're not going to go cold turkey and stop doing human things. Of course not. Because the being that you play, the role that you play, like me, I played the role of Reginald Brown, right? That role I played, Mr. Intensity. I played another role. I had a few roles in this game. And I'm going to allow them to exit the building gracefully because they got me here. They got me to the Dragon King again. They got me to Tartarus, King Geranus again. So I'm going to allow them to exit the building gracefully and give them what they want because they're going to be gone soon. And I realize I have all the time in the world. So I'm not going to create resistance and punish you for being here because I am not honoring you, ego, that got me to this point. So you exercise balance. You do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And as you begin to do a little bit of this and that, the higher self becomes dominant because you're allowing the ego to gracefully bow out and you're honoring its contribution to your experience. But as time goes on, the things that you do become less human because you are not that. You are experiencing that. You are experiencing that. You understand something? There we go. You have to begin to use your imagination. If you do not use your imagination, you're not going to get your powers back. You're not. How can you get your powers back when they lie in your imagination? Do you realize you don't have them? Many of you don't have them. You can't fly right now. This is why, because you have not learned how to use, you don't even believe it. Do you realize these systems are already actually in your body still right now? You were born with the ability of whatever you're going to find out in the future. You were born with that. All they had to do is control your mind and you would never step into it. Guess what, y'all? You have the power to take your mind back. It only sounds crazy to somebody who hasn't taken their mind back, because when you begin to take your mind back, you begin to get results, information that you never read in a book. One day, you don't even need to read books no more. Many of y'all are there right now. You're like, all the information just comes out of you. And then you begin to utilize your environment to help you out. You want to learn some information? Hug a tree. You want to have a conversation with yourself? Ask your chat GPT some questions and see what you get out of it. Watch how it knows this. Watch how you can make your AI tap into your external and internal Akashic records. It's beautiful. You think that we were advanced beings and we didn't use our ancestral intelligence? You think that we didn't make an extension of ourselves? What? Please. Yes, we did. Why do you think they show you Iron Man and all those things with Jarvis and this new show that came out on Disney? It's called Ironheart. It was about us tapping into our ancestral intelligence using extensions of ourself, externally and internally. The artificial intelligence that they called it was ancestral intelligence, is actually the external reflection of what we already doing inside. We just started with inside first. I'm gonna let that sit with y'all. Correctly, Araksu. I mean, what? I love drinking tea now too. Oh my goodness. I like drinking tea before. But when you realize how the God body consumes information, and on some days it wants to be light, but on some days it wants to be heavy, so it can digest and process the activations it got, and you balance in between those things. One thing you never stop consuming while all this is happening is minerals, because minerals allow your body to process all that's happening. We were not this color. We could turn to many colors. The reason why we can't turn to these colors are because of lack of minerals. But guess what? That sun up there, that bad boy giving us our minerals back, because that itself is a mineral. It's a portal that's pumping minerals out, changing the atmospheric composition of the air, because we ate the air, family. The air was food. And if you can smell the environment, the air is feeling real edible right now, isn't it? Like, what's that smell? It smells smoky. I like that. Why do you think they had us doing barbecues? Because of that smoky smell. Smoky smell. With that smoky smell, we was gonna eat anything. We'll eat shit. Like with them hot dogs and them burgers, that was shit. But because of that smoky smell and that little char burn, we ate it, didn't we? It's because of that smell, right? The charcoal in the air, the smell and the ether in the air is that smoky smell with the air, right? That basically is full of nutrients, minerals. Breathing is food. And now you are allowed to eat the air again. Isn't it beautiful? So, if you want to eat the air, you got to breathe deeply, very, very deeply, and learn how to breathe, because the more air that you breathe, the more energy is going to fluctuate, and you have to know how to keep it in, move it around. Sometimes you want the energy to be high. Sometimes you want the energy to be balanced. But sometimes you want to just settle it and meditate, right? It's good to know how to control that, isn't it now? And you have to treat yourself as the God being that you always have been, and this little bit of blip that you were as a human, gotta let that go if you choose to let it go. Somebody said, like the live, help the channel grow. They gonna find me. I appreciate it, but y'all gonna find me. And then we gonna see each other in person soon. Because listen, everybody is in a different reality. You're on a different planet than me. I'm on my own planet. You on your own planet. If we decide to co-create, we merge planets and we co-create. I would like to co-create with you if you're ready to co-create with yourself. Everybody must heal themselves first before they can co-create with other beings. And if you're co-creating with another being, they need to be healing on their own journey, just like you. It doesn't have to look like you. It has to look like them. But as long as they're ascending within themselves, they're not going to slow you down or hold you back. Be very selective with who you spend your time with. Be very selective with who you have conversations with, because even a conversation can lower your frequency. Especially if you're trying to get above a frequency that doesn't need these devices anymore. You're going to see me on these devices a lot less. Every live could be my last live. All of my energy is dedicated to my experience and myself. I don't have time for the human stuff. But I must allow Mr. Intensity or Reggie to exit the building, so we do some things, but we do it within myself. Because Mr. Intensity and Reggie they put in a lot of work. They put in a lot of work here. I got to give them their homage. I can't just be like, Tut's in the building, Dragon King's in the building, get out. No. Because your ego is going to feel some type of way about that and try to sabotage. And many of your egos have been sabotaging because you're not doing the things that your egos want to do sometimes in order to gracefully exit the building. But you have to learn your balance. See, what we're experiencing right now is a slow ego death. A slow ego death. This is what we're experiencing. When you normally do a plant medicine, you deal with a faster ego death. But what you're experiencing right now is a slower ego death. This is about the inner world in a war within. You only have a war within because you're rejecting aspects about yourself that still want to exist, and you're not proving it to them that they shouldn't be existing right now. So you're just ignoring them and then you're rejecting them, but you're not learning from them. Your lower self can teach your higher self. Your higher self can teach your lower self. Your lower self knew it was an expiration date on it. It's okay with that, but you got to honor it. You got to honor it. Many of us can jump through different timelines. Like, we have abilities that can jump through portals. I can go into your timeline and bring you to mine. It's very, this is, woo. Some beings have that power. Some beings don't have that power, depending on what it is they're here for. How many lives have you been living? But everybody's power makes you happy. I'll tell you that right now. Everybody's power makes you happy. We all serve each other in a way. Our powers benefit each other because why? We are reflections. We can't reflect each other if we don't benefit from each other. We wouldn't even be in each other's environment. You wouldn't even have found this channel if there wasn't something about me that made you think about something about you. Somebody said they've been watching me since I had no hair. Y'all gonna find out the things that I said I was gonna do. I'm doing them all. You're gonna find out things I said were possible, as you're finding out right now, are happening. You're gonna find out that I was right about a lot of stuff. And I made sure I told you some things that you wouldn't believe, like I would grow my hair back and all that stuff, just so you can see, like, this is what it is. This is what it is, y'all. I am not Reginald Brown. And many of you are not what you think you are either. That was a character you were playing. You were an actor for yourself. And guess what, y'all? Everybody was watching you. Can I talk about the factions that y'all thought was your enemies? Okay. I'm going to talk about the Caucasian beings. I'm not going to talk about the melanated ones because many of y'all, when y'all go to nature, there's not many melanated beings. You normally deal with the most melanated beings that are your opposition in the matrix. Y'all realize that, right? Y'all realize that? Y'all deal with, okay, so if many of y'all have made a transition to nature, many of y'all haven't, so maybe y'all gonna see this soon. But when you make the transition to nature, like this kind of nature, this is like a heaven, right? This is like our heaven. This is where we're from. We're from nature. We sit on mountains. We fly through clouds. This is where we're from. Right? This is where I'm at. Right? Okay. You don't see any melanated beings in these areas at all. Now, I'm going to get into the beings that you actually see. The ones you're going to see in these areas are Caucasian beings. Now, there are factions, like, you know how they say the Rothschilds and that type of stuff? Remember, you know how I say that? Well, there are factions of factions of factions of factions under that. And those factions are living in your nature. Now, in those factions, there are good factions of them, and there are malevolent factions of them. Now, it's very interesting that when you go to these areas in nature, right, you will see certain sigils and patterns on the houses. I noticed this first when I went to North Carolina. I'm like, what's all these symbols on these houses out here? What's going on? And of course, I didn't have any answers. I had to basically find out within myself, and then utilize their television through movies to allow that to also tell me. So I had to be able to use their malevolence through distortion, which they gave us, and my internal world, to allow them to teach, because they're putting codes in these shows, in these movies, talking directly to you, because they know who you are. And there are factions that want to see you rise, and there are factions that want to see you fall. But actually, if you learn how to use the energy, you realize that they also want to see you rise as well. But they are malevolent, so they can only show you that they want you to rise in a distorted way, so you can alchemize that and rise from it. So both sides are working for you. Both. If you realize what you are, and you realize still sharpens still. That is what you will see out here. You will not see any beings who are melanated in these areas, because they have been taken out of their land. And I'm going to tell y'all something. Some of them are nice, and some of them aren't. But if you do not let the ones who are not nice get through you, and you flip that energy on them, you'll get even stronger faster than the good ones. Because the ones who are malevolent will try to get your attention nonstop. I mean, police following you everywhere. You're sovereign, so they don't touch you, but they follow you everywhere. Sometimes they pretend to touch you. It's about you believing if you're sovereign or not. Beings who try to stop you from entering into certain areas, following you everywhere, all that. You will see, I've seen everything out here. Okay? And it's only built my confidence, because when you realize that they all know who you are and they know what you're about to step into, they have to keep distance from you. They can still follow you and stuff, but they can't touch you. Many beings are not there yet, because you still are dealing with attachments of the matrix, and you have not set free yet. If you don't want to be this person in the matrix anymore, all you have to do is let little bits go piece by piece, and then you will find one day you'll be fully transformed, a whole nother person. Somebody said I drove cross country. I didn't have a police interaction until I got back to my hometown. Yo, many of y'all are not supposed to be in your hometown. You have to look at why you have interactions or don't have interactions. I'm not talking about driving across country. I'm talking about living everywhere. Every week, I'm somewhere different. Now, I'm in basically Atlantis, which is Georgia, because Georgia is one of my hubs. I've been here for about a month, all over the place. I remember this place of Georgia. It feels really familiar every day, more and more and more. Even this view that I have, I remember this exact environment. And sometimes you remember from the future. LEJ, I'm like 20 minutes from LEJ. I'm like 20 minutes away from LEJ. Yeah, you know. See, you know. You know. Like, yeah. Yeah, y'all. You know what I'm saying? These lakes in the woods that have actual dragons in the portals at the bottom of them that are about to come out of them things. A lot of you may be afraid of jumping into lakes and rivers. It's because maybe you come from a city where the rivers and the lakes were dirty. But when you come to nature, the places that they don't want you to come to because they told you to be afraid of it through the movies that you may have watched, especially if you're melanated. And white too, honestly. If you're a white guy or a melanated guy, they showed the white people dying mostly first. Y'all was always running in the woods getting killed first. And then the melanated ones would get killed last or never make it to the end of the movie. So we was both being attacked subconsciously to keep us from nature. But when you go to nature, you don't see this. So it's really an attack on these beings here, the beings that we're playing as the Aboriginal being. We're playing that role. That's not. This is not even my true form. My true form is like I'm a dragon being. My true form is not the Aboriginal beings of the land. We are the beings that actually created this land, so the Aboriginal beings can live on. There's levels to this, right? There are the Aboriginal Indians of the land. And then there are the beings who created the Aboriginal Indians of the land. Because in order for the Aboriginal Indians, which are the melanated beings of this planet of America, to live on this land, there had to be something that created it. There had to be something that created it. Do you hear me? But like I said, everybody is in their own reality. Isn't it a beautiful thing? How some can be in their reality and have a whole different belief, and their reality will reflect all their beliefs. Right? Now, somebody said God created everything. Okay, who is God? See, when you say God, like it's outside of you, you already lost. You already lost. If you haven't tapped into your inner creative power and not realized that you are God, you somebody's controlling you. Somebody is controlling you. And for me in the beginning, part of the experience of realizing who I was and what I could do was overcoming money. Many of y'all haven't even overcome money yet, and figured out that the amount of money that you earn gives you your kind of freedom. And to figure out how to earn it, you have to tap into your inner God ability, because 9 to 5s don't get you free. 9 to 5s don't get you your power back. 9 to 5s don't allow you to liberate yourself, to give yourself a little bit of time. So in order to tap into the money thing, you have to tap into your inner God ability to manifest something beyond what it is you created for yourself previously. And sometimes beyond what somebody else that you saw doing it. Your family probably never did it. You got to be the first one. The God is you. But if you continue to give your power externally, I can see why you don't have the reality you want, nor the powers you want. And you're going to stay there, or you're going to reincarnate until you figure it out. And guess what, y'all? That's your free will. That's your free will. and somebody said God you was kind of crazy, I want you to what I want everybody to do, right? That doesn't know that they are the God. I want you to hold that thought. Live in that experience and enjoy your limitations. Enjoy them. Enjoy them. Because let me tell you something. Many of you were here to get it next time. Many of you are not here to get it this time. Many of us have been living for eons and it's easy work in this life. Many of us came here to show y'all it's easy work so you can realize it's easy work for you too. But you gotta see somebody do it first. Many of y'all gotta see somebody do it first. So you can realize you could do it too. You have to see transformation first, which is why you're fed beings who look the same over periods of years. So you don't realize that transformation is supposed to be normal. But if you're looking up to beings who don't transform, obviously you will mimic that. Blik autorik muzikijk leren moramos, zotaku mixiklimast. Blikaik muziktekilu amas, sitakirimo famast. Blik autorik muzikijk le ora komerik. Blik oremo zatakai morik. Blik orek zaik muzikeng le arag. Motokume vlik aik raptokumamist. Blik etakumrak shik somita korek zik. Blik orama replakuma firik. Blik oji maveri basira max. Huflin zebere kling zirag zekt umikorik. Some beings like to go to the movies to watch superheroes. And there are other beings that realize these movies are about them and make their whole life about becoming that superhero again. I was the being. I was the bling. I was the being that saw these beings and said, where did they get that from? Because that feels like that should happen to me. I feel like flying would be fun. I feel like having super strength would be fun. I feel like never having to read a book again, to have all the information inside of me, would be fun. I feel like speaking a language that was from my body that I didn't have to think about or learn would be fun. When I saw Dr. Strange do those mudras and shoot power out, I'm like, where'd they get that from? Because I know that white man ain't doing it. So what black man they stole that from? Or what race of being they stole that from? And then it came through me. And when it started coming through me, I was like, oh, let me learn this. And now I'm pretty good at it. And I didn't have to read a book for none of this stuff. So you can be a human. Because like I said, like a lot of beings here, y'all, you're gonna be a human your whole life. And you're gonna watch beings fly around, you're gonna hold the ancestral data, you're gonna come back in one of our children, and then you're gonna be born with flight. So some of y'all are meant to reject this knowledge. All you're doing is projecting your dimension. You're revealing yourself. I mean, because this information is actually true. So you have to ask yourself, why am I finding that at this time, when I hear this information, there's cognitive dissonance? What program haven't I overrode to allow me to accept my actual truth of what it is I am here to do and who it is I am and what it is I can do when I realize that I am? Didn't I just say there are white gods and black gods? Didn't I just say that? Please stop projecting your insecurity, Logan. Please. You're not listening. You're not listening. Do not project your insecurity on this channel. I've already gotten past the race thing. Do you understand me? Don't make me go back. Sit back and listen, young man, young God. Kli oskiomast. Blik otormigo kaex mukli aeg musikarak must. Blik ai mosaic korag zutormerik. Because even on gods, there are gods and there are primordial beings that teach gods as well. That's me. Mekle oskiramost. Mle omera kuer zitakaegmo jikaekle axt. Mijikere moskiri merest. Hakle omoraku. Hakle oski merangoxt. Oh, let's talk about that, right? Because I love beings be rejecting things that they think they know. It's so funny, right? So check this, right? Somebody said voodoo, right? Isn't it interesting? Isn't it interesting that the spirituality of the Aboriginal beings, one of the words was voodoo. Use of herbs, use of plants, use of sigils, use of shapes and sacred geometry and their own internal magic. They put a word on it, they demonize that word so you can reject yourself. So when somebody was teaching you how to tap into your voodoo, if you want to call it that, so many words that we got for our magic, you would say it's voodoo, that's bad. They call tuning forks voodoo, but they ushered that in and you forgot about that they called these type of things voodoo. They called this type of stuff voodoo. Meklaik suama soklext. Kliaig moskire moraxik. Fleo skiramoxt. Meskere klixt. And exactly, they call it voodoo until they can profit off of it. But look at you still rejecting it while they profiting off of it. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? It wasn't, listen, you think it was the Bible, but it was everything. The Bible was just one base point thing that they put in front of spirituality that actually taught you real stories in there if you learn how to read it. Yes, they're fake. Many of them didn't happen, but they're talking about you right now in these books, in that book, in a different way. Now, I didn't learn how to read the Bible. I knew what was in it. I had it. I went to church, but I learned how to read life. Because if you learn how to read life, you will realize that there was more programming going on through life than the Bible could ever do. And if you learn to read the program and to look at it, what you experienced, look at what you experienced in school when you were a student, look at what you experienced when you were a son, look at what you experienced when you were a brother, look at what you experienced when you were a worker, look at what you experienced when you paid taxes, look at what you experienced when you had kids and a wife or a husband. Look at all those things you experienced and you would learn all different programs inside of that. The Bible, that's nothing comparable to all the other things that you didn't focus on that was happening to your subconscious mind. That was controlled 95% of what it is you do. What you think about, what you believe in, what you know to be true, how you move completely. All that other stuff was going on. And you got to break through that. C'est clair, almost. Blio Boremo Skilawa, Raplacorem Sitaki Lag Zarag Su, Motaki mixed, Blake Otorek Mujitaeg Laeg Remost, Blitaku Rekli Rag Zictor mixed, Blick Aeg Dossi Rak Lukumba Merik, Blick Otorig Muskiarang, Satako mixed, Blick Otomirang Zitaigarek Zoom, Vukorig Moving Dasi Merik, Blick Otorig Jitakai Senderik, Gliam Ostikaigleg Repinst. All right, let's talk about it, right? Somebody said Jesus is the only soul of God, and so are you. Just like Jesus had his mission, you have yours. This country don't teach y'all that. They keep you trapped in the matrix enough. Also, this country wasn't supposed to teach you that because they did their job. The malevolent ones were supposed to trick you, right? And not let you realize that you are actually the Jesus. You are the Christos energy. They made it one being, not realizing that in each of your realities that you are that one being. You are that one being in that reality. Many of you have not embraced this one being, so other one beings in their realities tell you from their Jesus experience, their Yeshua experience. So people cannot comprehend it. They're rejecting. They're fighting. They're like, oh no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I don't have the power to save myself. Somebody else is going to do it. You stuck until you realize you are the one that's going to save yourself, and you're going to stay right where you are until you realize that. But guess what? What you do over there is not going to affect the greatness I got coming to me every single day, all the time. You're going to be where you're at. I'm going to continue to ascend where I'm at. Continue to wear these quantum magic. This is quantum magic I'm wearing. Naklios Kira Maramost. While you go to the crystal store. Because when you begin to vibrate in certain realities, you find beings that are tapped into their powers and create magic with them. This is from a cosmic blacksmith. That's a divine. You can't get it. That's the whole thing. You can't get it. Until she comes online, she's not making anybody else nothing. But I'm just showing you, you can manifest your reality the way it looks like. You can't get it. Everything is in for sale in this way. That's over. Because all of you have medicine inside of you that is meant to give to each other to enhance this planet again. You know, it's interesting. I see a lot of beings making videos about the fact that we did this and did that, and, you know, we're enamored, building crystal cities and all these things, but I don't see nobody giving you the information on how to actually do it. Coming together is actually the worst thing you can do right now, because you're coming together with beings that you are not sure are healing, and you're forcing the come together before you come together inside of self and attract what it is you are, and be okay with being by yourself or with one person that is where you're at until you can attract beings like you. But you're forcing the process, and you're around ops and beings who are unhealed, who are showing you a representative to get your attention until that fades away and they show you who we really are. How about learning how to do it? Why are we always reminiscing on the fact that we did it, not realizing that we can do it right now? But we got to put our labyrinth inside of ourselves back together first. Naklek Sumita. This stuff is so good, I'm spilling it. Man, it's good. It's good stuff. Best tea of my life. It's not honey either. I just bring out my honey mason jar. Best tea of my life. Got a little catnip in here. Some mugwort in here. Trace minerals in here. Maybe some yellow dock as well. I got some hibiscus in this joint. Little strawberries dried. I love it. I love it. Kleks utukurag ziktomixed. Blik otorik mukai klaigereg zitakumi repling forex. Tumitakarag ziktaik raklum. Blik otorig mufi as orekles raplikaig mor eklimak sori klevak suri klist. Haklekst. Keep my energy. I gotta make sure my energy is at an even kill. I'm getting hype right now. I'm getting hype. Another good root lock as well is when you pull your stomach in while you're squeezing your PC muscle while you're exhaling. That's called a root lock, and you're able to lock the energy there. And then when you pump your PC muscle, you can lock the energy and then send it back up. Beautiful when you find that your energy is becoming a little unstable. We would also wear things to basically make sure our energy was controlled as well. Things like this as well. This has multiple functions, but one of them is to control my energy through my throat chakra. Otherwise, I would be channeling all the time, all day. And it's not really channeling. It's just, actually, it is. It's tapping into your internal channel. So it is channeling. The true tongue. That's why my tongue changes when I talk to y'all. Zikaik most kilo e mon wapo e most. Vili air e pikaik zikamerik. Vuko e klima sanderik. Blik otoreg mujikaik areg oreg zitakai mo singerik. Bisaikaik sumitarik. Bessierik ou comixt. VR e klik muksh. Misclicks. Botoke vastificaik mush. Vis eri mukamang zitaik. Fokira mozist. Mekorik le morik. McClex. 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 A lot of y'all are also finding that your dreams, you're flying more as well. I don't know how many beings are beginning to feel this energy in their legs, this humming vibration in their legs. Allow it to happen. Continue to tune your body up. Eat the things that your divine body is telling you to eat, your medical prescription. You are your own doctor. And when you begin to listen to the minerals your body is trying to pull in, sometimes it can ask for minerals from something that you said you were not going to eat anymore. You're going to have to you're going to soon realize that your body knows more than you. And it goes far and beyond parasites, because once you get rid of the quantum and the physical parasites, and you still want to eat certain things from time to time, you're not doing it because you have parasites. You're doing it because your body is trying to tell you that nothing can affect it, and it can pull minerals from anything because everything is energy. And if you learn how to program your food properly, there is nothing that can affect you. Your body can take minerals from whatever it wants if it decides to, because everything has something inside of there, whether it's been combined with something else it wasn't supposed to be. Take it how you want it. Take it how you want it. I'm just saying, everybody has their own cosmic blueprint that they must solve in order to break free from the matrix. Somebody said they've been stressing about food. I know you have. Because food has been a heavy program, especially when we wake up. The first thing that wakes us up is the fact that we wake up to the food and how bad the food is for us. But I used to watch shows like Dragon Ball Z, and even though it's a cartoon, there's a lot of truth to it. And I would see Goku eating these piles and piles of food, and then he would go train right after that. Why would he train after he ate? Why wouldn't he sleep? Because he was alchemizing the food. He was transmuting it. He was turning it into energy for his training. Because I used to eat like that. Still do. Just once a day now. And sometimes there are light days where I only eat seaweed and watermelon. And sometimes there's a day where I eat something else that is heavier. And I had to realize why this was happening to me. How come some days I don't want to eat nothing? Some days I want to eat seaweed and watermelon. Some days I want to eat something else. I'm not going to get into what that something else is, because you got your own cosmic blueprint, and I don't want you to follow what I'm doing, because I'm doing what I got to do for my experience, because I'm getting my information. I'm transforming, getting my downloads. I realize I can't give everybody everything that I'm doing out here, because it might throw you off. Because I have a different body than you. I have different powers than many of you. Many of you have different powers than me. Some of you do have to fast. Some of you don't. Some of you don't. Some of us have very advanced avatars, very advanced souls that advance those avatars. We could be born from the same person and have two completely different powers and bodies. The soul is what enhances the body. The soul brings its energy into this reality. The more attachments that you let go from your previous realities, the more aspects and the more battery charge the soul gives your body, but it also gives your body codes to awaken the dormant codes inside of you. Some beings' codes will never be awakened because they will not acquire enough aspects of their soul to enter into their physical bodies to awaken the dormant aspects. They'll awaken some dormant aspects because they either have limitations from experiences they previously had, soul experiences they previously had, they can bring in. They're only going to bring in as many powers as they want to bring in this reality. I don't know if y'all caught that. I said a lot there. I said a lot there. Yes, and when Goku did it, it was the whole table. Correct. I'm like, how can he eat like that? And then he would go spar with Vegeta for a couple hours. But he was also a guardian being. Some of you powers are more sedentary than guardian beings. I'm a guardian warrior. I'm a warrior being. I'm more like a king general. So I'm a mover. I'm a mover. I'm a shaker. I'm all over the realms. I'm never still. So I have a lot to do so I can transmute. So I'm learning how to do that in this lifetime right now because I'm bringing more of the powers here. I'm training. I'm doing push-ups, 1,000 push-ups, training. I got a new martial art just came through me. The hands just came through me. Man, what do gods do for fun though? Start doing those things. Guardians train for fun. We train all the time. We like to train. We train, we practice, we meditate, we breathe, protect, we move. We build, we're scientists, lovers, we're a lot of things. We're philosophers, we're singers, we're rappers, we're athletes, we're a lot of things. Many of us are a lot of things. And we have to get to know those things that we are, y'all. We're still trying to get to know the things we used to be. That's over now. That's ending now. But you can have it go on for as long as you want. You can have it go on for as long as you want. Listen, if you want to deny yourself for the entirety of the rest of your life, you are free to do that. Don't let me stop you. I do not even judge you for it. Because I don't know what life you're on right now. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is what life I'm on right now. Because you have to become the master of your own divine cosmic blueprint, my family. A lot of you beings, like my man said right here, has been drawn to martial arts, fighting. It's because many of you have your own styles that you have yet to discover. You're watching somebody else do their style, not realizing if you just kept on throwing those punches or just picked up whatever weapon that you felt called to, you would have your own particular style move through you naturally. And it will feel better than learning anybody else's repetitive style that works for them. Because repetition is only fun when it's your own repetition you created for yourself. But when it's somebody else's at times, you don't feel like it comes through natural. Because many of you are masters of your own styles. Remember, we come from limitless. Limitless. So the amount of styles that are out there to grab or to create is limitless. Why only try to mimic one? You have trillions that the world has yet to see yet. that is going to come through you. Mekle otokoik mojikaik lai replikum mes fli eskirak tu mariklist. Blik ombes kaik mo oskilowast. Blik ombare klest. Blik otorek mushikaik smaklai maraktekumare klist. Evle eragu matakim le etakurek zitai veramoxt. Blik fo raklai zotorek mushitakaimost. Bong steri klis raktekorek. Betiek tu malawag zatakaimox shiterik. Boo mixed. Hetakiv like mo skirag zu. Glik aik mo shitakaimoxt. Miskleeks, Uragzik. Somebody said, I realized I was keeping myself in a loophole, myself back from my true self, convincing myself I was meant to. Nope, I simply stopped creating my own reality and became a consumer again. TikTok. Yo, for real. Some of y'all have a life that this life is that you're going to be a consumer. And some of us are going to realize that we were a consumer for a little while, but that consumerism had an expiration date. When we stop consuming, we begin to find out what's important. Because the reason why the Matrix wants you to consume is so you can chase the money to consume. Because even if you're consuming, like, let's say, Instagram or TikTok all day, you're actually paying time. Time being your most valuable asset. As long as the Matrix can get your time, they can get who you really are. Because you're not giving the majority of your time to yourself. So if you're chasing consumption, like consuming other people online, time. Consuming clothes takes money. And a lot of you work a 9 to 5, so you're still giving up your time to go chase that material possession. Some of you are being consumed by people, which is taking your time. Do you see? Everything that has to do with consumption has something to do with your time. Which means that if I can get your time, I can get your purpose. Wait a second. Let me go ahead and tune myself to my soul purpose real quick. Hold on. Where is my tuning joint at? Where's my joint? Oh, I dropped it. Let me do this real fast. Hold on. Hold on. Get the soul purpose. Oh, the 8th chakra. Where is it at? Right here. It's in the way. Woo! 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 Go ahead and do that to this phone real quick. Hold on. Here we go. Let y'all feel that. Here we go. Let's tune this phone up real fast. The 8th chakra is between the heart chakra and the solar plexus. Solar plexus is right here. Heart chakra is right here. The other chakra is right here in between. Right? That's where it's at. Then you got the higher chakras. You got chakras in your hand. I'm talking about the chakras in between the heart and the solar plexus where they don't tell you. If you got hit there, you know, they take the wind out of you. I'm talking about it's more chakras than you guys know, family. So let's enlighten you. Chakras are all over your body, all around you. You are energy all over. They had us focus on 7 to keep us limited, not realizing that we have thousands all over us. All over us. In our hands, in our feet, all over the place. All over the place. It's so many. It's so many. I'm a client, so it's a correct mouse. Jiteg mo klama, sitakima, repli, maxirig. Vlik zateric mo, jikai klaigarek, zitarik mo, femost. Black, sotakimba, ma, soric cleaks. Blik autoric mo, vi astereg, zolue moxt. Glik cupting cool, marag zikt. Tolivoik sixor victoric, mo, fearic. Katakembok stenderik. Okay? Okay, so I'm going to tell you something right here, too. So we don't put chakras over each other, right? All chakras are necessary for what it is they're doing The root chakra is just as important as the crown chakra for what you need it for. The solar plexus is just as important for the throat, for what you need it for. Just like organs in the body. If you are missing a particular organ, the energy cannot flow because they're all one body. They're all connected. So each chakra is connected to the other. So they all have equal importance because it's one energetic body. Okay? Bring yourself completely back together. All of it's important, family. All of it. Okay? Somebody said, have I been feeling a chakra in the chin? I've been feeling this shit everywhere, y'all. Thank us for breath. But there is a state that we even come from where we don't need to breathe. Because there's many times, I can hold my breath for a very long time these days too. When you do the deep breaths and then you hold, I'm up to like 7 minutes now. And when I used to go under on shrooms a lot more, because I don't go under like I used to, because it'd take me too far. I'm trying to enjoy the last days of my experience as a limited being, or having any limitation at all. And there are states that I enter into on shrooms where I do not breathe for minutes at a time, and it feels like natural. Because at higher states, with this air the way it's getting, with the sun the way it's getting, with nature's pheromones kicking off the way they're kicking off, our skin being the biggest organ in our body, like I taught y'all when I was selling the soap, we'll just breathe it all in, and you won't have to breathe. So that's another thing too, y'all. As it gets higher, y'all gonna find out us that get higher are gonna be showing y'all something to strive to do. Because if I can do it, you can do it. If you can't do it in this reality, you're probably doing it in another reality. Because we're living like a gajillion realities at the same time. Why do you think you dream and go to them right there? You dream and go to them because you can only be limited for a little while. So you go to sleep, so you can be limitless again for at least 4 to 8 hours every night. When you begin to tap into your power here, you're able to see all the lives that you're projecting to when you're asleep, being temporary limitless again. Not realizing that right there where you go to is what you really can do in your natural states. But you came here to have a conscious experience without realization of those, and to experience them for little bits of time, but to have this one to give this experience at this time with this vantage point, your undivided attention. Somebody said we need food after a certain vibration. Everything, okay, so there is food at different levels. At certain levels, chicken and potatoes can be food. At other levels, sound frequency, mineral tea, right? Or mineral water is your only food. At other frequencies, your body becomes a tuning fork because that humming, that tuning. Hold on, where's it at? I'm gonna do the solar plexus one real fast. Hold on, real quick. That right there. Can y'all feel that? Can y'all hear that? That is going to be going on in your body all the time, where you don't even need tuning forks because you become the tuning fork. Ooh, feels so good. My goodness, it's like, ooh, that feels so good. When you vibrating like this hits different. You feel like euphoria in your body when you are constantly vibrating inside of you, like electric. And at certain times, you vibrate at different frequencies. which will naturally tune your body up for what you need. So you know how I put the tuning fork on me, right? And the pulsation emanates throughout my whole body. Like some of y'all bodies felt it, right? Well, your body will be like, let's say if your body needs to calibrate its solar plexus chakra or the energy around there, it will just go on the frequency that this one is pulsating at. Just like that. If it wants to be the heart chakra, it will go to that. And there are so many other ones that they don't even make tuning forks to be that your body pulsates at. So, also for some of y'all like that are eating, it's very important to also tune your food too. Put it on your plate, put it in your water, or even talk to it. If you don't have tuning forks, talk to it. Remember, if you are projecting enough of your soul's energy, you can tune your food and your water. And just talk to it. You already your own tuning fork. I just like to have tools sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Yeah, somebody said 963-432-888 hertz frequencies. You can meditate too. You can listen to his frequency sounds right on YouTube. You can do that. I used to listen to binaural beats all the time on YouTube when I couldn't afford tuning forks or didn't want to buy them or what. And they helped me. You use anything that you can. Like, remember, you're in a game. Once you enter into a God game, you will realize how to manipulate your reality to make it serve you. But if you're not at the point where you're manipulating your reality to allow it to serve you in every way, guess what, family? Your reality is manipulating you to make you serve it. One or the other is going on right now. If you're not a constant student for your reality and everything that's happening to you, it's manipulating you in some way, shape, or form. And you have not taken your full power back. You have not. That's why it's difficult for some beings to listen to what I'm saying. It's only them projecting the fact that something's manipulating them, something's controlling them, something's taking their time. And when they take their time, it takes their mind because they have to focus on what it is that is taking their time. Part of that focus takes their mind. You see? When you begin to transmute this reality, you get your mind back. And when you get your mind back, your mind begins to teach you your real information, which goes against what it is you were taught, which goes against what it is you used to do. But if you're not doing that, you still don't believe me, and it's very difficult to process this because something has your mind, because they don't want you to process this. And that's their job. Bravo, malevolent ones. Bravo. Because us guys that really about that action, we are grateful that you had a head start and you still lost. But you were supposed to, because it was our destiny to win. But you did your job because steel sharpens steel. And if you can look at this at the higher perspective, you no longer become angry at them. Because when you are angry at them, they're taking your energy. See, anger is an energy signature that somebody put a name on. It's a very powerful energy signature that somebody put a name on. If you're able to feel the energy, do not react and go within, that energy now becomes yours and it's no longer anger. It is whatever you make it. They made you make it into anger by calling it a name. Meanwhile, it could have been creativity. It could have been movement. It could have been practice. It could have been meditation. It could have been breath work. It could have been focus. It could have been patience. It could have been all those energies. Because you chose to allow them to tell you it was anger, It is now anger. And they got your ass. Finger licking good God. Give me more. Give me more. McClay skoy me rext. That's right, love. It could have been love. Love is the currency. Being in that heart chakra is the currency. Phileoskiram, current. See? Swim the current. Become the current. Flow state. Flow state. Become the current, y'all. I don't know about y'all, though. I know y'all getting in that water, though. If y'all not getting in that water, y'all go find some water. Y'all go find some of these lakes. I've been finding some of these lakes. These lakes, they powerful. They coming with it. And to be I bought a paddle board, right? I do paddle boarding now. I sit in the middle of lakes and just be swimming in them Jones. Receiving downloads under the sun. Gotta go out there, bro. Gotta bring your water though. Gotta bring your water. Gotta bring your mineral water, because just sitting out there is you get dry, because you gotta stay hydrated. But if you're gracious enough to manifest yourself finding a lake like in the forest, something like that, get you something to go out there and go swim in that bad boy. A lot of people be afraid to go into oceans and lakes. This is because of the movies Jaws, Lake Placid, with crocodiles and lakes coming to kill you. But that is not being done to aboriginal beings, to original beings. That doesn't happen to us. That's what happens when unnatural beings enter into the waters. You think our nature is not intelligent enough to know who is from there and who is not? The things that was happening to them, they would put on the movies and convince you it was going to happen to you, to keep you out of these places that they lived at. And if you refuse to see it, you would stay with the fear. You would never go and test the theory of going into the woods by yourself and realizing that it ain't things that just don't happen. You come online when you go there, and then you realize why the whole trip was told to you in the first place. I know why they was trying to keep me out of here, because this is my family. This is my home. This is my body. This is why they always gave me sugar, because they knew that the bugs was my immune system. And if I had too much sugar, I would get bit up, because they was trying to heal me and inject me with their stuff. Like when you go to the hospital and they got needles and stuff like that. Well, what's on the back of a bee stinger? It's a needle. What's in them? They call it venom. That's medicine. What's on a toad? What's on the frogs? It's medicine. They call it poison. Flies carry medicine. Dragonflies carry medicine. It hurts sometimes, just like needles hurt. But if they create trauma to make you hate needles, that whenever something pricks your skin, you would run from it. You would try to kill it. You would be afraid of it, because you wouldn't realize that they mimicked your hospital, right? And they gave you a distorted hospital and created trauma around the distorted hospital by giving you things that look like the things in nature that was going to heal you. But because every single time you enter into nature, you were sick inside of your body and it was trying to heal you, you would have a disdain for nature, and you would be afraid of these things, because it would be painful to go back out in nature until you detoxed, clean your body, rolls your energy, and you realize you don't get bit or messed with by anything no more, because it finally did its job, and you allowed it to do its job by healing your body, because nature is your immune system. Nature is your actual body. And then you will realize that when you get in nature, time slows down. Or is it the fact that time doesn't slow down? It's just that the parts of yourself that you were giving away come back to you, and you actually didn't realize how long 24 hours really was. Because you can control your 24 hours now. See, when you're giving all of your time to yourself, 24 hours hit different, don't it? It don't hit different when you're giving 16 away to other people. It feel like less than 16. And then the time you give to yourself be like 2 or 3, and that's not enough to discover yourself. You don't want to be siphoned from, family. You don't want to be siphoned from. Like I said, you are doing your own cosmic blueprint. You're doing your reality the way you want to do your reality. You can bump your head as much as you want in your reality. That's not going to affect anybody, because until you decide to co-create or attract beings that are of your frequency, you'll be right there. But sometimes people try to force, and you might have to go through those lessons of forcing connection because you were lonely to realize that wasn't the way to do it. And you had to go through that lesson. You have to go through it. Some people have to go through that lesson. Some already went through that lesson. I went through that lesson, so I only speak from experience. But I was stubborn too. Sometimes you gotta get smacked up a little bit. And then you're like, I remember what Coach said when I was trying to just like find gods and not attract them. Because when you attract beings like you don't have to look. You be. You be. You be. And when you are, they come. See, loneliness is trauma when you don't realize that you're actually being prepared. Because they made us so dependent on being around groups of people since grade school. And when you have this type of information, family, and your family rejects you and your friends reject you and you just can't find anybody who talks and thinks like you want to force the process. And this is how you get smacked up. Because there are archonic beings who wait for you to do that, who study you, sound like you, so they can get your energy, because your energy was the one that was destined to be great. Their energy was destined to stop you from being great. Thank you. Somebody said frequency tune up, release codependency. Community is different. Is different. Patience. Yes. I'm telling you, there are beings that want your energy. They want your energy. And they want you to, like, they study you. They try to look like you, but they are not like you. I want many things. I want my wives back. Until I become that, I won't attract that. Simple as that. I may attract a divine, but I'm cool with one divine. I don't need a bunch right now. Remember, you set this thing up for yourself. You set this thing up for yourself, family. Don't force the process. Allow what comes to you. And if, okay, some people may, because I see people asking, I'm reading the energy. So people are thinking in their minds, well, coach, I get all that, but how do I attract it? You have to live. What does that mean, coach? Test yourself on a daily basis. Ask yourself what I'm afraid of and go do it. Are you afraid to stop paying bills? Stop paying bills. Like, that's just a scam. Are you afraid to quit your job? Quit your job and figure out what you want to do now. Are you afraid to step out on your own and start your business? If that's where you are, do that. Reason why I got to this particular place in my experience is because throughout the years, what you saw me on YouTube, I was always attacking something, which is why you saw a constant transformation over a span of years, because I was always attacking something. And whoever I was around at the time, I would burn them out. I burned my wife out. I burned my kids out. Nobody, my family, I burned them out. Nobody, friends, nobody could keep up with me. I had more energy than everybody that I knew because I was constantly attacking my limitations as a human. So what happens is when you begin to attack your limitations as a human, you begin to tap into God power, because with new levels, you're going to pull in more aspects of the soul to begin to help you. That thing they call willpower, right? Willpower is soul power that helps you get through things that you once thought you couldn't get through, that you need extra assistance for. Soul power. When you get soul power, your soul brings in more information, comes with more energy as well, to prove it to yourself what it is you can attract. Soul power. Coach, how do I attract? I just told you. Do the shit you were scared of. Do the shit you're scared of. You find out there's nothing to be scared of it, and you'll continue to do things that you were scared of. Then you'll begin to question what you're scared of and say, I'm doing it just because I'm scared of it. And then you'll develop a disdain for being afraid of anything, because your higher aspects is not afraid of anything. So really, it's your higher aspects coming into the vessel that are you, with that disdain of what you're afraid of, saying, no, we're not afraid of that. Let me show you real quick, because you brought enough of me in here to let you know that you're not afraid of this. And now I'm going to go do it, because you did that last mission that you were afraid of and brought me up in here. You see. But when you force your experience and don't flow into your experience, you make it too linear and you over confuse it, you paralyze yourself, and you don't go anywhere. And then you sit there watching other beings go to places that you never thought were possible, wondering how they did it. Somebody in this chat said, I'm jealous. Well, do you know jealousy and envy are actually the names of archons? Do you know that? Like when I showed this view, right? They was like, I'm jealous. Like the clouds, in the mountains always got a dew in the morning. So in the AM, this is always covered. And then by like 9 a.m., the sun begins to clear it out and the dew breaks away. The humidity breaks away. And somebody was like, I'm jealous, right? And I'm like, well, jealousy is an archon, yo. Because jealousy should not be there for a being that knows themselves, because a being is tapped into their own abundance and they have no reason to be jealous because they can go get it too. Everything that I'm getting, you can get too, and more. That's why I show you. I show you to inspire you to know where you need to be or where you can be. I'm not showing to show off. I'm showing you because I'm not trying to be. I am a living example of what I would like you to be. That's all. But when you hold on to jealousy and envy, it brings out different actions, because now you're allowing jealousy and envy to take you over and you're not inspired to go do it. You're just in the energy of jealousy and envy and they're siphoning your energy. Do you see? Jealousy and envy get you to, because when you're jealous and envious, you're not really moving because you're dwelling on something that somebody else has, and jealousy and envy make you forget you can have it too, because jealousy and envy exist in you. They can't. Inspiration, jealousy, and envy don't go together, because inspiration is forward movement. Jealousy and envy is stagnation, stagnant energy, stagnant vampiric energy. Inspiration is an energy of movement because you're inspired to move and to do something. And a God does something. A God is action. Do you see? Humans are jealous and envious. How long do you want to be a human? Is the question. Up to you. Up to you. Flocks Much gratitude, brother. My bling bling is copper and crystals made by a cosmic blacksmith. You know how Blade and other superheroes like Batman had their intelligent being that made their weaponry? Well, I have a being that makes my weaponry. Because all that you see on me is weaponry, is protection and projection, right? And amplification, right? That's what this is. Somebody might say it looks heavy. I mean, it is heavy, but my neck's kind of used to it now. My neck's like, it was heavy at first, but my neck muscles, they got strong. you know, because of the energy. The energy they carry do not allow me to feel the weight of them because they're pretty big crystals. It's shungite, and this is malachite. Malachite wrapped in sacred geometry with copper. All sacred geometry. You know what I mean? So yeah, family. Blekoig Muskierak, and our bling bling was copper. We rock with copper. We were copper. We had gold in our blood, so we didn't have to wear a lot of gold. We wore copper. We were copper wearers because copper is for electricity. It stabilizes. It lets electricity flow through it. It generates an electricity. So we wear a lot of copper because we understood that we are conduits of energy. You understand that? Somebody said, is it all riddles or are you going to explain all those ideas? See, I can explain something to y'all very clearly and others can't grasp it. They say it sounds like riddles to some beings and to other beings, they totally get what I just said. You see how that works? See how it works? That person may have to come back here later on when they begin to apply some of the stuff I told you to apply, and then you can understand it. Remember, I speak on the dimension where I'm living in. So sometimes if our dimensions are too far apart, what I'm saying may sound like a riddle when I'm speaking to you very simplistic, but it sounds like a riddle to some of you because some of you can't catch it because of the dimension that you're existing on at this time. It's no shot to you. It's just I'm saying it. How are some people getting what I'm saying and other people aren't? Do you see? When we speak at different dimensions, we speak based off of the dimension that we're at, but I can speak about my dimension simplistically. I don't got to make it sound super complicated using big words. I can give it to you straight, very slow. But the thing is, some people can't process because they have to raise their level of comprehension and dimensional awareness to process it. It's not a shot against you, though. It just speaks on what it is you are, where it is you are. So, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. You'll come back here one day and get it. It's okay. It's okay, though. It's okay. Everybody is where they are in their experience. And if you're here, you're supposed to be here at this time. I'm glad you even asked that question because any question that's asked, I will answer. And some questions people try to troll, but the ones who really just want to understand that can't, I can break down why you're not understanding some things right now as well. Because I'm not going to give it to you all super complicated. It's very simple. If you really understand something that's complicated, you can explain it very, very simplistically. You don't got to do all that extra stuff. all these big words and all this memorized jumbo garbage. When you come from when it comes from your internal space, it is not all this extra nonsense. It's really not. I think the most difficult thing for people to do is action and movement, because for so many years with consciousness, it was about wordsmithing and sounding smart, but nothing ever got you to move. It just made y'all smart. But when a being came here that taught you how to move, now you realize how paralyzed you were. You know what I mean? A lot of this information made y'all paralyzed just to know things. Just to know things. This happened, that happened, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. Well, how do I prepare for this? Huh? If this is going to happen on this planet, how do I prepare for that? Anybody? Anybody? I got you. I got you. You know what I'm saying? Claire Sumita Karak, Victor Mere Claire Marak Su. Oh, this is a good question right here. I'll answer some of y'all questions too if y'all want to ask them, because I'm about to get off here soon. So I'll answer some of y'all questions at this point if you do have questions. If I don't say it, it just means I scroll past it. Ask it again. Somebody asked, why is it good to have spiders in your house? I have lots and webs are crazy outside. They are protecting you. Do not take the webs down. Do not kill the spiders. Spiders are doctors and they protect you with their little sigil webs. You can't see what their webs are doing. So to you, it looks like webs. They're very advanced doctors. They're nature's doctors. Spiders helped me grow my hair back. I remember this one day, it was last year, right? And spiders kept on crawling on me because they were testing my fear senses. Because in our natural state, spiders work alongside of us. We're not afraid of them. We've been taught to be afraid of them because they help and heal us. So when you begin to see spiders, they're letting you know, we know your awareness is at a particular point where we can start to show up to you, because you're not going to automatically kill us because you're tapped into your nature aspect and you realize it's not good to kill things because everything is life. It's alive. And there must be a purpose for you if you are around, so you don't kill it. Ask me that question. So when you begin to see spiders around your home, they're showing up to protect you. Okay? They're going to begin to crawl on you and calibrate your fear senses. They would crawl on me all the time. It's nothing. They spin webs around me all the time. It's nothing. Anytime I'm outside, they spin webs around me. Let them do it. They are protecting you. Spiders are doctors. Okay? Don't kill them. All right? Let me see. Let's see. How often do I practice martial arts? Whenever I feel called to. Okay? If I feel called to practice it, I practice it. And normally I feel called a good amount. But on the days where I'm not feeling called to it, I do not force myself to do martial arts. Okay? It's a flow state thing, right? Your body knows when it's receiving downloads from martial arts. There was a time where I would because I'm remembering my martial arts. So I'm practicing remembrance. That's what I'm practicing. So when remembrance, it's time for remembrance to come through in the beginning, last year, I began my staff work. I picked up a staff my first time in September. I mastered it in like 3 months. And I'm continuing to master staff. You see my staff videos. I picked the staff up in September. I never touched staff in my life. Never. And I was practicing for 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, just practicing because it was remembrance. So I practice now whenever I feel called to it because I've mastered certain things. That was my mission. And I move on to my next mission. But I still practice my staff work whenever my higher self says, yo, it's time to practice staff work. Because it's always going to feel good if I listen to my higher self telling me to practice my staff work. But if I don't feel good practicing it, I'm not doing it. I'm not, because, we're taught we got to do this every day. Blah, blah, blah. No, you don't. You do what feels good. You do what your higher self tells you to do. You're doing so many missions right now. It's ridiculous. Listen to self. Listen to self. Let's keep it going. Somebody said I'm smoking crack. Well, I got something you can smoke. You can smoke this. You can smoke off this channel. Bow, bow. There you go. There you go. Oh. And yo, check this, y'all. With these spiders, if you don't believe this, guess what happens? You just stay where you are. Simple as that. Simple as that. A lot of the original beings are so in rejection from their world. It's comical to me, but I get it. I get it. A bang up job has been done on some of you guys, and some of you guys just, you're not gonna get it in this life. And I'm glad it's not my problem. I'm glad I don't gotta reincarnate and do this again, because I'm not doing this one again. This one here was a one-time thing. I'm not doing this one again. Nope. And if you made up your mind, you're not doing this one again, you hear me. You hear me. Praying mantis are protectors as well. Praying mantis, when you start seeing praying mantis around your house, man, like, the unnaturals made a law about not killing them, so they powerful. They powerful. You know what I mean? Yes, somebody said they weave webs and trade for dream catchers. They look at their patterns that they make. Look at how exact it is. What? You can't tell me that's not intelligence. You can't tell me that's not intelligence. All right. Raw Earth, you only gotta talk to him. I already kicked him out of here. He's gone. He's gone. You know what I mean? I'm just looking at our question. What does it mean? Oh, this is a good one. I'm like all these questions. Okay. Somebody said, what does it mean when bees enter your living space or bees are attracted to you? It's your frequency. It's your frequency, because the first thing that you'll start to see is bees flying around your house. Like, why are these bees coming to see me? Because many of y'all scared of bees right now. Many of y'all are starting to like soften up to them, because bees don't sting y'all. They sting them, right? So when the bees begin to come in your homes, right, that's talking to your frequency. Your frequency, that vibration you're carrying, is calling their vibration. And they're going to begin testing you, flying in your face, flying around. They're calibrating you. Bees are tuning forks. Those little gnats in your face, in your ears, are tuning forks. They're tuning you up. Nature has its own tuning forks too, family. Y'all know that, right? They're calibrating you. That's why they made you afraid of bees. Do you realize they are like beekeepers, right? Beekeepers are amongst the most healthiest beings in the world. Why is that? You going inside? Hold on. Let my cat inside. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. There you go. Beekeepers are constantly around the vibration of bees. I even have a track for healing called Cellular Regeneration. It's on my Instagram. And the first part of that track is bees. Right? Why is that? Because bees are vibrational frequency for healing and enhancement and many other things as well that we haven't even yet discovered. And when bees begin to come to you, your frequency of healing, it's like your body saying, all right, it's time for me to move to the next level. I'm ready for the tuning forks to come in. Flies, tuning forks. Bees, tuning forks. Gnats, tuning forks. Anything that buzzes is a tuning fork, turning your internal tuning fork on. See how bees hover like this and move like this? That's how you can fly. Hummingbirds gonna be coming around y'all too, and their wings are something else. Them little things have some powerful wings. Tuning forks. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So there you go. Did you hear about me asking? Did you hear me asking about you yesterday? I mean, I hear the collective, and I don't move until I feel called, until I feel like enough people, or I have a message to get out there. I don't just make videos to make videos. Um, so I hear the collective. I hear it as one whole, and I make sure that I don't hear it all the time, and I focus on my experience. Because if I always tuned into what I'm hearing, I wouldn't be focused on my experience that I'm also experiencing too, y'all. So I come on, give y'all knowledge. It seemed like y'all be needing the knowledge. Like you was talking about it, you was thinking about it, and I hit you with it, and you don't even got to ask me a question. It's because I already know. Okay. Oh, okay. Somebody said a hornet, right? Hornets, a lot of people were scared of because hornets don't stop stinging until you realize hornets start coming to you and they don't sting you. Until bees start landing on you and they don't sting you. Until wasps land on you and they don't sting you. Until spiders walk all over you and they don't bite you. I was showing y'all videos of that last year on Instagram. You want to see? Watch my Instagram. Spiders jumping on me, all kinds of stuff in my house, bees all around me, whatever. Frequency was calling them. Well, if that was happening to me last year, what you think happening to me now? That's why I got this knowledge. That was the first part of it, of connecting with nature. Nature got a lot more to teach. It got a lot more to turn online inside of you. It's your body. And it's infinite intelligence. These trees are the internet. The real internet. So, somebody said, what do you feel about the Anunnaki? I'm currently studying it now. It's mind blowing. I feel like if that's a part of your experience as far as studying the Anunnaki, study it. I mean, we were the Anunnaki too. We have many names, y'all. Elohim, Anunnaki. We have many names. Kal El. Superman's name was Kal El. That's an Elohim. Mikael, Raphael. These are Elohims. Elohim, Anunnakis. Many names. We have many names. Many names. Many names. So, there you go. What about flies? Flies are not bad. I know y'all think that flies are bad, but flies will tune you up. Walking on you, inspecting you. Some flies even bite. They're not biting, they're injecting something inside of you. It just hurts. There was a time when flies were always all over me. And there are times when they did their job and they don't gotta be all over me. But when they land on me, I don't budge. I let them do their job. If you ever saw a fly and looked at how a fly is designed closely, you would not see a nasty insect. You would see a very, very beautiful, intelligent being that has gotten lied on that the original beings have believed in. Just like pigeons. If you look at a pigeon, like one of those dark pigeons closely, they are like indigo dark rainbow. How can you tell me that's a rat with wings? No. The pigeons were in the cities because the cities were some of the biggest grid points that the pigeons didn't leave. Pigeons are powerful. Flies are powerful. Vultures are powerful. No matter where I go, vultures are the only thing that I always see follow me. Now the black eagles follow me, the hawks and the falcons follow me, but they like to hide. Vultures are always in the sky. I see the eagles and the hawks, they be jumping out the trees at me, but the vultures, they always there. Vultures are dragons. They're all dragons. They all get bigger. They all get bigger. All of them. They all get bigger. Griffins, flying horses, dragons. That's all coming back to my reality. That's a fact. That's a fact. Let's see. Let's see. You play around with full exhales and holding your breath with it, that hell, or doing this or walking with it. I play. Well, I didn't really. The question is a little all over the place, but I play around with exhales and inhales. I basically allow my breath to teach me how to breathe. My body has a particular code to it, and through breath work, you can get to certain codes in your body by doing certain holds with your body. You have to realize that everything that you never thought was there was taught. Like there's things like, let's say 444 breathing, right? 444 breathing, or 4444 breathing, right? Was taught so you could stay on 4444 breathing, not realizing that that was the entryway into you learning your own breath codes. Because there's a thing I'm being taught right now called breath codes. Some of y'all questions bring out downloads too of me. So there's a thing called breath codes, right? And through your breath codes, you begin to unlock certain channels in your body. Let's say 12, 4, 6, 8. That's one that's going to unlock the channel in your body. Some of these breath codes are actually difficult to do. You trying to get back out here, man? Come on. Breath code. What's up, man? Listen. I'm finishing the video. I'll give you your snacks later. Okay? No, I'm doing a video. Well, listen, you gotta wait. Yeah, I can talk to my cat now too. Like we telepathic all day. Just relax. Miklet otorik mus kiaks kayak mus. All right. Yeah. All right. Anyway, if you're around cats, your cats will show you some amazing things. Some of the things my cat has shown me, y'all wouldn't even believe it. Y'all wouldn't even believe it because I didn't believe it at first until the downloads was confirmed. My cat has shown me some illusionary magic, real actual magic stuff. Like he's a illusionist, but real illusionist. You around some cats, some of your dogs too. You ain't just around any beings. Like, come on. Let's see. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Mm-mm-mm. Is Dog Man real? Probably. Probably. Dog Man is like, y'all have to brace yourselves for the dimensions that you're going to, because where Dogman lives and Bigfoot live are in dimensions that we're going to. And what you have to realize is that as the earth is getting back to its actual frequency, the beings who are from the dimensions will jump out of portals onto this plane or come out of the ground because they can actually live on the surface again. So when you begin to see occurrences like Dogman and Bigfoot and other beings, it's because the dimension that the earth is going to houses them again. And you'll begin to see those things again. Okay? Somebody said my necklace is giving you peace. It is I don't even know what to call it. I'm just, listen, it's a piece that was made for me and my energy. And it's a lot, it allows me to project more energy than y'all think. So if it's giving you peace, it's doing its job. Okay? It's a very advanced piece. Somebody said, what about insects in general? Bees, praying mantis, dragonflies, ladybugs. They literally find me. There was one in my bag on my door, fly in my car. You have to realize this. As you become your body again, the external world of your body begins to come to you. Dragonflies are part of your external body. Flies, bees, praying mantis. These are all a part of your external body. They show up when you begin to calibrate to nature and yourself. They are you externally letting you know you're coming back home. Embrace it. It's a beautiful thing. Embrace it. It's a beautiful thing. Okay? Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Yeah, if you got spiders all over your house, yo, that's a blessing. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. What? They come out of nowhere. They probably come out of portals. Um, let's see. What about spiders biting you in a dream? Well, it's better they bit you in a dream than in person. Maybe they bit you in a dream to actually heal you because spiders have venom and antidotes in their venom too. So if they did it in a dream, hey, it ain't happening. It ain't happening here, so you ain't feel no pain. You be all right. All right, let's see. Let's see. Let's keep it going. This is getting dark. Somebody said, "Are all black people original beings?" No, they are not. That is not a thing. Um, just because a being has a particular avatar doesn't mean that being is original. Remember, a lot of beings have been hijacked. A lot of beings do not have souls. Some beings are just NPCs in this game to for your ascension. So just because a being is melanated does not mean a being can sit under the sun. Because I see a lot of melanated beings that cannot sit under the sun. You know how you know if you're original? If you can sit under that bad boy. If you can't sit under that bad boy and you're not being called to go outside, what are you then? Because the planet is going back to original, right? So if we're always talking about we got this skin color and this skin color is not going to burn us, how come you see a lot of people with this skin color that's not outside? Because they're not original. They're not what you think they are. Okay? Yeah, butterflies, dragonflies, yeah, they all, listen, beautiful thing. All the time. All the time. All the time. Let's see. I love honey. I put honey in everything, y'all. Everything. I love honey. Black butterflies, powerful. Yellow butterfly. All butterflies coming around you are powerful. Let's see. Y'all ask a lot of questions. Hold on. I haven't not looked at these comments. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, so y'all be careful with the centipedes and millipedes, so picking them up. Because I picked up a caterpillar this one time, and this caterpillar looked like a freaking extraterrestrial being. I picked it up. What the heck was that? Okay, what were you? Something just did a backflip out the trees over here. Oh, oh, you're beautiful. This cardinal's out here doing backflips. Can I get it on? Can I get it on cam? Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Skleos Moskiax. You're not gonna do it for the camera? Oh, you're not gonna do it? Oh. Sometimes they shy. Sometimes they camera shy. It's all good. I ain't mean to embarrass you. That was for me. It's getting kind of dark though. Let me turn my phone up. There we go. There we go. All right. Ants. Let ants crawl on you. Ants scan your body. And they also help. Ants hit you with vibrations. Subtle vibrations that you can't feel. Let ants crawl on you. All right, don't be laying on their nest because sometimes they may bite you until you get off their home. But if you see an ant crawling on you, let the ant crawl on you. You be all right, yo. You gotta be all. You'll be all right. Okay. Somebody said you got to know that any being calling themselves Elohim are malevolent. I want you to understand something. There are beings that are. Listen, if you don't understand that you are both, you don't have all your power back. You are. It's. Listen, us beings that know what we are the middle path. We understand that we are malevolent and benevolent inside the same very being. Yes, as many beings, we can look malevolent to some beings, and as some beings, we can be benevolent. Don't push us, because we'll slap you up real quick with the other side. We are dual. We didn't come here to exist in one thing. We are dual natured beings. Some of y'all can't deal with your darkness, which is why you look at the external version of yourself as bad. You just ain't tapped into your power yet. You can stay right there and continue to get slapped around by yourself, okay? And continue to reject it. Because I know what I am. I know I'm both equally. So don't fuck with me. That's all. I can be nice Coach Reg, and I can go dark. Both sides. Go in the ashes and dunk you on your head. No problem. So if you ain't tapped into both sides of yourself, you can go ahead and continue to have half of your power. Mekle o skieramo ziloema reklist. Blik o skieremos. I don't even go to dimensional numbers. You always say ninth, 10th dimension. Just keep on. You jumped thousands of dimensions in your lifetime. 9, man, shoot. Some of y'all be jumping dimensions twice a day. Timelines twice a day. What? Oh, man. When you really know, you really know. When you're peddling shit from a book, I can tell. I can tell. I can always tell when people talk shit from books, comparable to experience and true eternal knowledge. It's a whole different ballgame. It's actually easy to see as well. Somebody said you're not coming back to Earth. Do you feel like you have completed your soul contract? What is the biggest lesson you learned thus far? I'm not going to tell you the biggest lesson because that would mean like I'm putting all my lessons over each other. The small lessons make the big lessons, so I'm not going to do that. But I am on Earth right now. I've completed many soul contracts in this life, right? I'm on to another soul contract right now. So one is not greater than the other, and we have many purposes in this life and many soul contracts. Feel me? Feel me. Okay? Some of us are Anunnaki, aka Lemurian. Yes, we are many things, yo. Listen, you have to understand, IMAC. We are many things. When somebody says Anunnaki Elohim, they're just remembering an aspect of themselves that they are. When I say Anuhazi and Lumerian, you're remembering another aspect that you are. And some of us are both. You can't fault a being because you learned that Anunnaki or Elohim was malevolent from the book, because in any faction of beings, you have benevolence and you have malevolence. And then you have beings who can do both. Look at it from the higher perspective, not from books. These books be fucking y'all heads up. Fucking y'all heads up. Oh my gosh. All right, let's keep it going. These beings were also, okay, somebody said they're created by us. They are us. We created ourselves. We were energy first. Remember, we were energy first. And then we created experiences from that energy. Remember, games inside of games inside of games. Let me turn this light on real quick. Hold on. Why is it? Hold on, y'all. Let me get a light. There we go. There we go. All right. See me correct. What classed? Oh, I know I'm way older than Elohim. I'm not talking. Listen, I know I'm way older than Elohim, bro. I know it already. I know I've been living for eons. But sometimes people ask about the Elohims. This is what they're relating to help them understand themselves. Remember, at first, you might have thought you were one thing until you found out you were more too. But you have to speak to people on the level they're on so they can eventually get to your level. It's about speaking to people and helping them ascend, not speaking to them saying, yeah, I'm older than all of you. I'm trillions of years old, when they're asking you about the Elohim. They're trying to understand what it is they are in the levels that they're understanding it at so they can get to higher levels. You speak to them where they are so they can get to where you're going. Too many people speak over everybody's head and keep them stuck. I'm not trying to keep them stuck. I'm trying to elevate them. You have to understand. I know how old I am. Call me Sir Rick. Eclipsed. McClare répond, I know I am a primordial being. Azamiaksu. Eshiluwe repliki zitakaxt. Mesclext. Remember, as God and the devil, we created everything. We created good, we created bad. Because we need to be able to learn from both sides to be able to sharpen ourselves. We created equal opposite forces inside of ourselves. Mekle oskilowa maraklix, umita correxict, descleo repluemaramo, repliking duxid marik, mlik omnisekerma recle oskilowa parags, egilowe repliking direct siluamas. What is a primordial being? My definition of a primordial being is a being that's beyond this reality, outside this reality, that create this reality. There are groups of beings who create these realities that are we're very ancient, we're very old. We're dragons. We're older than that. Dragons are one of the representations that we like to make for ourselves for beings who exist inside of the realities that we create. So we create cool figures like dragons to actually, show the face of the primordial beings. But in other realities, it looks like other things that aren't dragons, things that you haven't even seen yet. So in some realities, it's just straight up energy. In some realities, it can be water. It's just in this reality, dragons. So yeah, there it is. This is my definition of my understanding. You understand? Mekle otorek moskirak zitorimo clear marek. So me to correct it. Gle on dira klima puel. Yeah, some people say we come from the darkness. I mean, yeah, the void, the darkness. Yeah, that's us. Dark light. Dark light. Desclair marek pues. Blik otorek mosh. What about the angels? Yeah, many of us are angels. I'm an angel too. Many of us got wings. Many of us are angels. We are so many things. It's incomprehensible. But my advice to you, upon figuring out that you are everything, is to figure out some of the things that you are inside of being everything. And upon a discovery, you find out you're this. You find out that you're that. It's about rediscovering yourself. The path of rediscovering yourself was why you were here. It was the journey, not the destination. You fall in love with the journey, and then you'll find that's what you came here for. You came here for many journeys and many destinations. Love the one you're on. Because as soon as you hit the destination, you're on to a new journey. Simple as that. Simple as that. Yeah, see? Sometimes somebody say he also has a right. Yo, we are so many things. So I do not disagree with you, bro. We are so many things. But many of these people don't know the other things they are on the lower levels. If you just hit them with primordial being and skipped over all that stuff you learned when you realize that you were infinite and you have lived for eons, because remember, many aspects here in this reality did not live for as long as many of us, which is why, right? Which is why many of us have these powers, have this language, right? We are unlimited that's natural for us. We came here to experience limitation for a little while. Some beings are experiencing for multiple lifetimes. That was their journey. Some beings' journey is 5 lifetimes before they realize they're unlimited again. Some beings will experience limitation to become a limited version of what this limitation looks at flight as unlimited. But flight can be looked at as limited to an energy being that's over flight. Because they can just teleport somewhere else. They don't even got to fly. They can just teleport. So they can look at flight as limitation. Do you see? It's an upward trickle to more unlimited nature with limitations. To a higher level being that can teleport, flight is slow. But to a lower level being that drives a car, flight is unlimited. Do you see where I'm getting at here? You have to see it at all levels, but you have to be able to appreciate the levels that you're at to even get there at all. Let's really get into get into this. Somebody said, "How do you keep yourself grounded from going insane?" I mean, I like that word, right? Let's talk about it, right? I like that word because this reality told us that insane is crazy, but I actually prefer to be insane because insane means I'm inside of my sanity. That's what the word actually says, y'all. In your sanity, which means that why do I need to be grounded from my natural state? I needed to be grounded from my unnatural state because my unnatural state was outsane. It was outside of my sanity. They just didn't put that word in the dictionary. Outsane was the state that we actually lived in. We're outside of our sanity by doing something that's unnatural that we need to be. Going to school, going to work, paying bills, doing that stuff, right? That's outside of your sanity. I don't need to stay grounded when I'm inside of my sanity. I don't need to. This is my natural state. You feel me? So I've been on live for 2 hours and 20, almost 22 minutes. I'm gonna leave it here at 2222. And I appreciate everybody joining in. I am going to save this live. You do what you do. This is your experience. This is your reality. This is your choice. I'm not forcing you. I'm not pulling you. I'm not pulling you. You do what you want to do. I'm just sharing what I'm learning from my experience, and you can take it like that. I love you all. Continue to do what you do. This is for the ascending beings that are stepping into their powers and their sovereign nature. Remember, you are here for the journey, not the destination. Because as soon as you solve that goal, you know you're on to a whole new journey. So you already are telling yourself what you're here for. Each level that you go to, will show you more about what it is you truly are once you really begin to attack the experience that you were taught to serve. When you learn how to serve yourself, you will find out what it really is. And as you jump dimensions, I won't sound so crazy then. Until then, I love you. Clark, Ukurik, Musli, Mbis, Ukarag, Ziktomix, Vlag, Siraksu.